What's up, Meta Nerds? This video is all about the Opee Sea killer, also known as not the biggest fish. This creature was unique to the oceans of Naboo, specifically to the caverns that made up the Abyss. The Abyss was a term that referred to the labyrinth of tunnels and lava tubes that were created when the plasmatic magma that made up the core of Naboo burst through the seafloor and into the oceans where it cooled into rock. Over millions of years, this eventually built up to the point that it surrounded the core of Naboo for some distance, becoming home to many different forms of plants and wildlife. Despite Obi-Wan, Boss Nass, and Jar Jar saying that they were passing through the core, really they were passing very near the core through the underwater highway that connected all of Naboo. The Gungans had become experts at using the Abyss for quick travel to their different colonies across the planet, but this also gave them an intimate appreciation for the many creatures of the deep. The unique aspects of this area of the ocean, selected for the exact kind of features that we find in the Opee. Its body was covered in chitinous armor that could protect it from the many predators of this area, and these legs that allowed it to cling onto the rocky terrain. When in position, it could use the stalks above its head to lure prey in with its bioluminescent bulbs, which would guide smaller prey towards its enormous mouth of razor-sharp teeth. In the cases where they needed to chase the prey down, the Opee could hit a speed of at least 85 kilometers per hour or 53 miles per hour by using these two large fins in concert with its legs, but also by sucking in water through the mouth and pushing it through pores located in between the plates of armor on the back, acting like a sort of underwater, organic jet propulsion. When close enough, it would launch its sticky tongue, which was strong enough to even pull back small ships. Due to the violent landscape of the Abyss, when two Opee Sea killers fell in love, their fertilized legs could not just be left on the side of rocky outcroppings, as this would simply turn the next generation into dinner, and so to prevent this, the male Opee would have to fast for 3 months while storing the eggs in his mouth. Once the little monsters broke out of their eggs and into the big blue world, the Opee's natural predator, the Colo Claw Fish, would often swallow these newborns whole. But don't feel bad for these younglings, as their teeth and claws were fully formed at birth, allowing the Opee to chew its way through the stomach of the Colo Claw Fish. During the invasion of Naboo, we saw how this creature hunted when it spotted the Tribubble Bongo that was being used by Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Jar Jar. As the Gungans were well aware of this deep-sea monster, Jar Jar used its colloquial name, the Big Gooberfish. It was successful in capturing the submersible, but while trying to chew the ship in half, the king of the Abyss, the Sando Aqua Monster, arrived and ripped into the Opee. Now, despite the ferocious nature of the Opee Sea killer, many species considered it to be a fascinating creature, and thus some were captured and exported to be put on display, like on the pod racing course on Aqualaris, and in the enormous Royal Iqui Aquaria, which was the largest and most popular aquarium on Coruscant, where for only 10 credits, visitors from across the galaxy could gaze upon this majestic and terrifying creature from the depths of Naboo. So that's it for the Opee Sea killer, but you definitely want to hear these cool facts and behind the scenes stuff. Early on in production of episode 1, the Opee had some traits of a mammal, which were somewhat transformed and retained in the Sando Aqua Monster. Its design was turned into more of a fish, combined with a lobster, with the bioluminescent lure of an anglerfish, and the tongue of a chameleon. And the idea of the Opee Sea killer storing eggs in its mouth is based off of the real practice from some fish from here on Earth, which are called mouth brooders. But that's it for the Opee Sea killer. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to check out our social media, or ways that you can help support this channel, be sure to check out the description down below. If you want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you get notifications. But more important than all that, remember, if you're worried about sea monsters, don't equip your ships with a giant lure, and the Force will be with you, always.